Hello and welcome back. As you can see, I've got a bit of extra track down and a few bits and pieces dotted around. Got that great little tank locomotive there. I've got a pair of coaches on the back there that brighten it up a little bit. I've got that Princess that we looked at a little while ago on the bench just running there. Also with a couple of quite early short coaches. Can't quite keep up there. See that Princess come around there. So we've got a good circuit of a Series 3 on there. They make a lovely noise. The sound coming from those tin plate coaches is amazing. So we've got the rubber tunnel back there, the number of which I can't remember. Let's just have another look at this Princess storming through here. That is an acetate one. It has warped a little bit. It's sort of popped off the chassis at the front as it has shrunk a little. One last time through there, I think. So I think we'll grab some control over that. I'm going to flip the camera around before I drop it. There we go. So let's just bring that one gently to a stop there. Let's see if I can get the Hornby Dublo train. There we have it. So I think what I should probably do is we'll just put the Princess. So that's R50 and R30 tender. I'm not sure of the exact year. I'm thinking mid-50s. You can see we've got a definite bit of a bend going on in the tender there. If I turn that camera around, let's have a look at that and see how the chassis, not the chassis, the front foot plate there has just curled up and it has shrunk quite a bit. So it's just, I'll either break the plastic moulding to pop it back over the metal chassis. But quite a lovely thing, and there's quite a bit of warping on that tender. Let's see if we can get above it there. Sorry, the creaking floorboards as I try and stand up tall here to look on the top of there. So quite a lovely thing. So let's give that a little bit of a move around the layout to the side of where I've got some old Tri-ang Railways buildings. We've got some of the red ones there and their boxes. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Let's give that a little bit of power. Let's see if we can get in closer. See if she'll depart. Let's see how I remember to turn this in the correct direction. So it's not the smoothest. The tender's a little bit warped on the rails. I don't think all the wheels are sitting quite correctly. Let's stop that just before the tunnel. There we go. I'm going to flip the camera around yet again. So here we go, let's have a look. So we've got this Dublo model here, this little tank locomotive. And a couple of these coaches. Let me just grab one off the rails here and we'll have a look at it. It's got a lovely reassuring weight to it. If you hear the rattle there of the metal parts all coming together. So fairly tidy. I think it's probably had quite a life. See how that detail is printed onto the tin plate sides and the ends there. So I don't know the numbers of these. So I've got a little bit of Hornby Dublo literature here. So we'll have a look at that. Let's see if we can get that back on the rails there. I think I've got a wheel off there. Listen to that beautiful sound. There we go. Lovely detailing in the roof there. So that's a brake. And that's the coach. I'm not going to pull the coach off as well. Let's just have a look at this bit of literature here. So this is not a catalogue as such. I suppose it's a fold-out sheet. And it has a price here, 1956/7. So it's quite a lovely looking picture on the front. I'll have a glance there at the back. We've got all of that track work there. And there's that railer that we saw last video there. So there is a reference number there. And I'm not sure whether that's is that a price at the bottom there. These prices, I'm unsure really. These things here, 2D, is that right? So there could be prices. Yeah, I think they're prices. Perhaps I should have done a little bit more research before I got this thing out. So it folds out really nicely. We get these wonderful group of train sets here. So none of these really represent what I have on the railway there. So I've got the little 062 tank locomotive with a couple of these what look like BR coaches. So they've got them here running with the Silver King, and we've got is that a Duchess of Montrose there. So we saw my version of that out on the railway a couple of weeks ago. So let's just sort of open that out. Oh, there's the prices for the sets there as well. Just have a quick look at that. So it's quite interesting. Power supply control units are not included in these train sets. Let's fold that out a little bit more and have a look at that. It's a lovely sheet. So I don't know whether you call this a pamphlet or a catalogue. It's got lovely items in it. It's such a nice group of wagons. So I think we're all probably tin plate, although that one looks like it might well be moulded in plastic. But I think some of mine are more like this. I do have some of the plastic ones. I think my coaches, let's see if we can find the coaches. That might be the coach I've got there. Let's see if we can read the number along the side of it. Let's just grab that off again. So we've got M26133. And have we got that one? Is that the same thing? I think it is. So that's the coach. Sorry, that's the coach, that's the brake. We'll get that the right way around. I don't think the colours are terribly representative. It's a very muted colour there. And you look at the colour of the coach, it's really rich, isn't it? Lovely item. Let's pop that back on again. So I know we're going to end up running that around and forgetting it at some point. So we've got these station items here. So I've got a handful of these bits. I still haven't managed to come across one of those. I keep meaning to sort of grab one, but they keep eluding me. So I haven't really overly seriously collected these items. They've just sort of as they've come up and become available to me, I've sort of grabbed hold of a few of them. I suddenly realise I have got one of those buried away in a box and I didn't get it out. So perhaps next video we'll get that out. So let's pop that down and have a look at a couple of these items that we've got. So I've got an island platform. Lovely box, that blue illustration there in tones of blue and white. I'm not sure whether that would be a price there. Let's have a look at the end of the box. Fairly impressive thing. It's a very hefty cardboard, and the item inside is rather heavy as well. Let's have a look there. So I think if we try and lift off the lid there, so these things could benefit from a bit of a clean. So I think these might be cast in aluminium. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure I've read somewhere that these early-ish buildings were in aluminium. Hornby Dublo, made in England, Meccano Limited. So none of this stuff's really been cleaned up, so it's a little bit dusty. So I think that would look pretty good in here. I'm just going to move the train out of the way. Let's give that a little power. Let's send that back there. And then we've got a couple of ramps here as well. Let's whip that out of there. A really terrific box, isn't it? You can see the effects of damp in the bottom there. So it's definitely kept the contents quite nice. Let's pop that off over here. I've got the box for the princess there. Perhaps we'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's deal with these Hornby Dublo items. So I don't know whether I can encourage these together one-handed, but I think what we'll do is we'll just stand them there for now. I'll pop that in there. Ooh, I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm looking at the items, but not through the camera. I'm looking there. So a couple of other items here. So we'll grab that. I'm not sure of the correctness of this box, whether it's two boxes put to one, but it's definitely seen better days. And let's grab these two items as well. These I don't think I'll be able to get these out of the box single-handed, so we'll cut back to these in a moment. So let's put those over there. I've just realised I've got this camera set quite narrow, so let me widen that. We might be able to see a bit more. So let's have a look at the top of the box there. Through station, you can see the box is definitely here. Seen better days. I'm not sure whether this top goes with this bottom, if you know what I mean. So it's definitely been damp, hasn't it? And it's missing parts of it outside. So I don't think we have any end detail. Oh, maybe we do, but that's not in English. So let's just pop that down there. And this is another really lovely item. So you can hear the sound these things make when they come together. So it's made of the same material as the island platform station we've just put out there. So let's pop one of those down. We'll put it that way around, shall we? So we can see it from here. You can see some of the paintwork has gone through to the metal here. It's definitely had a bit of life at playtime, I think, this. So we'll pop that one down there. You see the difference in colour is quite pronounced, isn't it? And this one has a white line printed down the edge of the platform, whereas these ones don't. I've got these. These didn't come with the station. I acquired these separately, but I just sort of thought I'd leave them in the box because it seemed like a great place to leave them. I suppose you would cut those out and then you could attach those to these name boards, perhaps. Are they the correct length? They look pretty good lengthwise there. If you have a look at the insert picture, you can see the variety of different names in there. Again, I can't get that out one-handed there, so we'll just perhaps leave that with the box lid, keep those safe. And then this absolutely gorgeous building. I can't even begin to describe the weight of this compared to the Tri-ang items I have been playing with. This is just such a lovely thing. I think it's 2 parts at least. So we'll have a look at underneath it. I'm not sure. I think the side walls there are separate items as well. But just look at that. Look at those steps. Absolutely astounding. So the cost of production of these must have been quite something. Let's just have a look underneath. Look at the construction of that. So these pins here holding various parts together. Yeah, so there really are a number of items all brought together to make this one building. I think that's not a crack in the metal there. That's just something that's scratched along it. But it really is such an amazing item. Let's pop that down there. There we go. So I think what we'll do, I will just cut here for a moment, and I'll encourage those together, but we'll get these out as well. So I don't think I can get these out. So we've got a platform extension with wall, so that will go with the through station there. So we'll get a little bit of a longer station. Yeah, this is going to be it's a really long tongue on there. Can I get it out? Just. So you can see there. No, I'm going to need the two hands with that. And I think definitely this one is a really tight fit, and this one will go with the island platform. Let's have a look there. So I don't know whether, do we have any English on the end there? Let's have a look on the other end. There we go. So platform extension for island platform. So I'll just pop those all together and then we'll have a look at it. So there we have the platforms all plugged together. Makes quite an impressive sight. So you can see the difference in the colour of these items, and this extension piece doesn't have the white band along the edge, or the white line, sorry. Interesting about this platform here, it's got like a mould or a casting mark running through it there. I don't know whether we can see there. You just have a look at the casting mark there. If you look at the insert picture, it's more pronounced, certainly on the inside. I think they're really such lovely items. I wonder whether the line along the edge and the colour is just to denote sort of slightly different ages of production. Let's swivel that camera around. Let's run a couple of trains through the station. Now I decided to set it up like that because I think we can see that nicely from this side for now. We'll set up a Tri-ang station over there. Let's bring the Princess around. So let's see if I get this the correct way. Obviously I've got it the wrong way. There we go. Through the rubber tunnel. Ooh, nearly ran out the other end of the station. Let's bring the Dublo train in for good measure. There we go. So that's a lovely length of station for trains of that size. Let's have a glance at that. So I think what I'll do is I'll just pop to the other side and we'll have a look at the Tri-ang items. Maybe we should just have a look at the box for the Princess just while it's within reach. So Princess from the mid-50s, I think. So let's have a look. I've got R50 462 Princess loco black livery. So a nice lift off lid box. So part of its packaging is missing. Let's have a look there. So we've got an oil bottle present. It's empty. You can see the plastic or wax has been pulled up round there. I'm not sure what that material is. You can see there's definitely nothing within that bottle. And it should have had more card packaging, end blocks and so on. You can see information on what you should do, how you should remove the parts, lift out both ends, end blocks with model, remove securing inserts before extracting model from end blocks. So you'd remove that to release the locomotive. But the other half I imagine is long gone, and you can see the model number there, R50 or R53, 53 being the green Princess. So I do have one from a similar period, but again, that's sitting in box. Maybe that's for another day. So the printing on this box is quite faint. So that's R30. So at this period, locomotive and tenders were sold separately. Now I've just jumped the other side. We'll just have a quick run round with this Princess. Just catch her going through the station here. And we'll see if we can get the Dublo train coming the other direction. I can hear that Princess coming in from behind. There we go, we'll just follow them round just the once more. We'll get that through the Dublo tunnel. I think this Dublo tunnel is a later item. It's made from plastic. Or I'm not quite sure of the age. So let me see if I can get the Princess to stop. I think I've grabbed hold of the controller for the Princess. There we go. So let's see if we can catch up with the Dublo train coming around. So she's just about to go through that tunnel. Let's have a look at the front end there. Let's see if we can get a gentle-ish stop here at the station. There we go. So let's just have one go over the top here. Amazing looking things, aren't they? I mean, the work that must have gone into producing these station buildings like this. And before these, I think there were a series of really rather fantastic looking wooden buildings. So let's just have a quick glance at that tunnel. Let's flip the camera around. So it's in fairly poor shape, definitely seen better days. Let's pick that up, very, very light. It's just made of plastic. So there we've got the Hornby name in there. Made in England, Meccano Limited. Sorry, I've got that. Is that in focus? You can see the plastic's taken rather a bit of a hard knock over the years. You've got those plastic ends. You've got like a felt type flock sort of stuck to it. It's been peeled away there. Let's pop that back, hopefully in a position where it's not going to catch the train on the way past. Yeah, I think that's worth a try just to see if we've got that in the right position. Let's run this Dublo train around one more time. Let's swap hands. Hopefully we don't have a collision here with the tunnel. Take the edge off the speed just in case. Ah, perfect. Let's get this back to the platform. I mean, these buildings would have been just the thing for playing trains on your carpet, on the living room carpet. I mean, you just pick them up and put them away, and they're so sort of robust as well. Lovely, just like the track. So let's pop back round here. So I've got this group of items out. Let's just have a quick glance at the catalogue. So we've got the 56 catalogue here, second edition. We've got the green Princess with full valve gear on the front here, and the R55 single-ended diesel, which I think we saw running last week's video. Looks like a Baltic tank with some TC freight at the top there. A green tanker wagon, a model that still eludes me. So a swift look through here. We've seen this catalogue before, so we're not going to spend too long looking at it. I think that Princess probably represents the one I've got on the railway quite nicely. It's got lining, it's got a coupling on the front. We don't have brass safety valves in just yet. So I think they came along that year, but perhaps not all the way through the year, or certainly not in time for the catalogue. So I think, and these might be prices just scribbled in here as well. So that Princess there, is that 42 shillings perhaps? And the green Princess with the full valve gear there, 55 and 6. And the 262 tank, 54. Lovely things. Let's just get through to the buildings. I think that's the coach R21 that I've got on. I've got a pair of those on. I think these were available for long enough to be available in both acetate and the later polystyrene, which doesn't warp. I think the ones I've got on the railway are non-warped. They're sort of polystyrene, the later ones, because they seem to run quite nicely. I might, if I had, yeah, I've got acetate ones here. I think I've shown these in an earlier video, so that when they become quite poor, they definitely distort. So nonetheless, they're quite lovely things all the same. See, that one's gone so much. The ends just split off the coach there. But I mean, they are just beautiful items. Look at that. Bananaed. So that one's gone in at the sides and the roof split away up. So we'll just pop those back under there for now, for safekeeping. So I think the later blood and custards, which they must have made tens of thousands of, were introduced here. I think they possibly just originated in polystyrene rather than the acetate, and none of the ones I've got seem to be in acetate. They haven't shifted. I do have some of these LMS ones which have definitely shifted. Let's see if we can run through to the station buildings. So I think originally the station buildings were mainly in red. I think early on, glancing at my notes, these buildings came along sort of from the early 50s, 52, right through to 62, when the later ones, the later sort of modern style looking ones came along. But I think these style of buildings were around again through the period where they changed through to polystyrene. I think some of mine are polystyrene, and some are in acetate. So we've got this lovely sort of example of how you could use all of those items. I haven't got all of these items out. I have the things are put away in boxes, and I'm still trying to dig things out. So I do have more bits and pieces sitting in here. We'll get things out another day. I think we've got more platform sections and so on. So more things to go at. So I do have some of the brown ones as well, though I don't think the water tower was ever made in red. I think that one perhaps was a later addition maybe. So, but I think it was made, I think that one did, I have got a bendy one of those in acetate, which I think I might have shown in a video a little while ago. So let's have a look at these platform parts. We've got straight platforms, R63. I think there are a couple of variants of these, although I've only got the earlyish ones out. I think later there was like a snap fit together to hold them together, whereas these just sort of stand together. You can see the curl in them. So I think that one might be polystyrene and this one might be acetate. So obviously somebody's had some good time gluing things on there. And then we've got a curved end. So that's a right hand end. It's R64R. So that would be right hand, I'm guessing. And then that would be R64L. So I think I've got a box of either left or right handers, but I do have odd ones in various other sets. So they make quite an impressive size. They're quite wide, aren't they? And we've got a couple more of those. You can see they're all in fairly warped condition. So we'll have a good play with those. So I do have a number of these station buildings. They have their boxes. So we've got the porter's room there. I don't think that, because they're such a tight fit, these. There we go. 66, the porter's room. So that will be it there. But I think it was also available as R66K with the newspaper kiosk inserted in it. And R69 was a newspaper kiosk by itself. Again, I've not got any of those out today. So this is just the porter's lodge. Again, if we just open the ends of this box very, very gently and have a look, you can see it's quite tight fitting. So again, I think what we'll do is I'll cut away and I'll get these various items out of the boxes. We'll get them arranged as a station there. We've got an island canopy. So that's R73. Again, really, I don't know what that says on the trucks on the end of the box. So very rattly. So I have an idea that these yellow parts, even though some of the early ones may have been acetate. I think possibly the yellow parts were never made in acetate, because they don't. The ones I've come across haven't warped anyway. Broken, but not warped. And we've got a ticket office in here, the various bits rattling around inside there. So you've got canopies and a chimney. So I think that all mine have chimneys in various conditions. Faded, I think some of them have faded. So I don't know whether we can just look into the box there. But they've got that lovely cardboard around them. But yeah, difficult to get out with just the one hand. So let's pop that one down. What else have we got over here? So we should probably speed this up a little. I know we're just in the cardboard boxes now. They've got a waiting room. R62, and there's that price on there. I can't quite read that. Having trouble reading that, I have to admit. So we've got a waiting room, R62, so there we go. We've got a waiting room there. What does a waiting room cost? 5 and 5. 5 shillings, 5 pence, is it? It could be, couldn't it? Having trouble making that out, I have to admit. Sadly, a bit of sellotape on the end of that box. Yeah, we looked at the porter's room, station approach steps, so that says it's a box of 6. I don't think it's the original ones in here. I think, cause I'm fairly sure from memory that some of these may be acetate and some maybe not. Again, this is not a one-handed job, can't do that. If you have a look at the insert picture, you can have a look at the ones that are contained within that box. Some fairly heavy marking on there. They do have different advertising legends on them as well. So we've got approach steps. Have we got approach steps here? R67. There we go. They do have advertising on there and on the end wall. It really was quite an extensive range of items. Stunning, in fact, I think is the word for it. What have we got here? Signal box, 7 and 3. So we've got R61. That's a 7 and 6 there. So I think this is one that I think this is definitely an acetate variation I have here. Plastic's faded on the top quite a bit. Again, very difficult to get out with a single hand. So yeah, there we go. Signal box. Platform ramps. So again, platform ramps were available as these are straight platform ramps rather than these curved ends. I think these are loose. I think there's only a pair in here. Is there a pair here? Again, they're showing the effects of age. I think we're looking at acetate here. They're a little bit bendy. I do have some of the later ones somewhere which have the slight bayonet fit on the end. Again, they will just finish off really lovely like that, aren't they? So really terrific items there. They've got the catalogue number on there, R65. So what did a pair of those cost? Have we got these on the list? Let's have a look up here. R65. 1 and 11 platform short ramp. What's the last thing I've got over here? Now I think we showed this when we were looking in the top of a box a little while ago. So this is a very bendy footbridge. It may well turn out to be too bendy to put together, but lovely box, completely sort of different red to the rest of them. It could be just the storage and so on, but really terrific items. This is a broken building, well, not broken, but it's you can see the acetate shift in there. It's quite something, isn't it? The roof line's all away. Lovely legend on the end of there. Cheap tickets and excursions, British Railways. You see that? Let's see if I can get that a bit closer. It's definitely taking a few knocks in and out of the toy box, hasn't it? And there we've got evening news, all the results. Get that a bit closer for you. We've got the catalogue number on the bottom there. See if we can grab the focus on there. It's been a bit slow. R60. So, yeah, I think if we break away from this, I'll assemble a station and we'll have a look at it. We'll get a couple of those trains running around again. So there we go. I've got the station all put together there. A little longer than I thought. We're on the following day. It wasn't really practical to continue making any more video yesterday evening. So I got everything in there, and I've got an extra piece of platform out to make it up a bit on the other side. It didn't look quite right. I couldn't get the bridge in the right position. It had to stand on the deck, and I thought it looked much better just standing on the platforms like that. Let's flip the camera around and see if we can have a slightly better view from this side. Now I put the station this way around just so I could show off this lovely set of station steps here. So otherwise they'd be against the wall, I think. So perhaps not the best position for the station, but I think it shows off the buildings really nicely. Let me flip that around again. We'll have a quick look over the buildings. There we go. So let's have a start with these station steps. And I said there were a variety of them in the box. I think I already said have a look at the insert picture, but I'll pop that back in again. But that one's got Craven A on the end. So I'm just holding that in a position there that's making my hand shake. So let's have a look at that. Have a look at that insert picture there. I don't think it's an original set in the box. I think some of them seem to be acetate and some of them are in polystyrene perhaps. So this one's definitely got some bending going on to it. So we'll pop that down. So I can't remember what was that? That's R67. I think, does that on the bottom of the item there? Let's get that in there. So I can't tell whether we're in focus there looking through my glasses and over the top of the camera at the same time. There we go, Tri-ang R67, made in England. So we'll just pop that down there. And then we've got the ticket office, fairly impressive item. But we won't want these on the one end. A brand of beer that was available here for a time. Lovely canopies there. See how they're let into the building. Let me look at that. Let's just see if I can push that in a bit further. It goes around the detailing on the edge of the building. I think that's quite nice. Let me turn it around. We've got the little canopy on the other side. Let me see if I can hold that up. I don't know whether if I turn that over, whether we're going to lose the chimney. It's a very loose fit on this particular one. And there we've got R60 there. So that's the ticket office. You can see it there sitting in the catalogue there. So we'll pop that one. Let's have a look at the other end of there. It's got a lovely legend advertising information on there. Stevens Radiant Blue fountain pen ink. A lovely bit of advertising. That I wonder whether that was a real brand of ink. Perhaps it was. So I think this is the porter's room. That's got Tri-ang Railways in it there. Again, it's very loose, the chimney on it there. I'll just put a finger on that to stop it dropping out. And there we have it, R66, made in England. Very bold type on the bottom. So that's the one that could have the Porter's Lodge in there. It's not the Porter's Lodge, so the newspaper kiosk. So it's referred to as the Porter's Room, this one, I think. Porter's Room with kiosk is the one with the K on the end. So the one I've got on the railway today is that one there, just straight R66. So we'll have the newspaper kiosks out on another day perhaps. So that's Tri-ang Toys there. And Tri-ang Railways there. So we'll pop that down there. And then we've got the waiting room over here. Now this one has what looks to be a reproduction chimney on it. It's a slightly different red. I don't think it's a 3D printed one. I have had a go at 3D printed ones. If you have a look at the insert picture there, I haven't made sort of a very good headway in doing it, and certainly not printed them in a colour, just in grey. That's a lovely bit of advertising there, isn't it? BNE electric water heaters. So we've got the number on there, R62. So there we've got the waiting room there, look, R62. Got some fencing. I think I showed some that I picked up quite recently, perhaps down in the Doncaster show. So we'll pop that one back on there. I'm not going to pick up the footbridge. So R71. I've shown a number of these on the channel over the years, but this is a particularly bendy one, and that's just standing together. So it won't pick up all in one. It's very fragile in its standing together business. You can see Tri-ang pedigree, Tri-ang pedal motor. So that's a really nice bit of graphics on there. I can't get in close enough, the controllers are in the way. So I wonder whether that says Tri-ang pedal motors on there. I can't quite read that, there's a lot of it missing. So let's have a look at the other side. I think it's all completely gone on the other side there, all missing. So I'm not sure what the legend on that side would have been. There's a whole variety of them over the years. I can't quite read what's on this one in the catalogue. Let's have a quick look there. It's something dolls. I can't quite read that here. So there's a whole variety to collect, as it were. And then the canopy. So this one has got a slight bit of damage on it. One of the pins holding the green ends in is broken, so it doesn't stay together by itself on this end. So there's a little bit of black tack holding that on there. So let's have a look at the advertising. Oh, and that one's just popped out, but it has got its pin there. So we've got pedigree prams. So let's have a look at the other end there. Yeah, so this little pin here is missing on that end, so I've got a little bit of black tack holding that into position. Yeah, look at that. So there's that toy aircraft. Frog and is that penguin? I can't read the script at the bottom, unfortunately. So we'll just pop that one back into place. There we go. Let's see if we can successfully stand that back on the platform. So that's just two of these canopies from the edge of the building slotted into this central unit here. Let's see if we can get that back up there. There we go, looks nice there. So I'm pointing down at the ground instead of pointing at what I'm doing. And then we've got this wonderful bendy signal box. I said before, I'm unsure as to whether that painting there is original or whether somebody has just replaced a long gone nameplate. Again, that chimney is fairly loose on there. See, there's quite a bit of fading. I think that must have stood in the sunlight at some point in its life. It's got a much richer colour underneath. Let's have a look down at the roof there. See the distortion in that. Definitely taken some fading across the top of this little roof on the side there, but still quite a wonderful thing. So we'll just pop that back into place there. Now I've just placed these just to make them look good for me. I don't know whether they were in the right place or not, but I think it makes quite an impressive station. So I think both of the stations, the Hornby Dublo and this one, are really quite something. So let's get these trains underway just one time round here. So off goes the Dublo train, the little tank locomotive, and let's send the Princess on the way round. So I've noticed this particular clipper I'm using with the Princess is very much on or off. It doesn't have the subtlety through the wonderful Dublo station. And let's see if we can get her to come to a stop back at the station. And hear the little tank loco coming round from the left there through the tunnel. And let's get that to a gentle stop there. And then let's see if we can catch the little tank loco coming round with those tin plate coaches. Take the edge off the power. A little bit too soon. There we go. So I think that looks pretty good. Now I have dug out my green Princess I was talking about earlier, so I thought we might get that out and have a go. So again, we've got some acetate in this model as well, so it's definitely all shifted. Let's see if we can get that up. So I think what we'll do, we'll back up the other Princess and we'll get this on the railway. I've just noticed I had this other building out for comparison and the colours as well. So that was a slightly later colour. I think they changed over to this colour in the late 50s, I think, from what I've read. So that's got a lovely advertising on the end there as well. Margate. What have we got there? So I can't read the top name there, but our best in TV and radio sets, TV radio sets. So I can't read that sort of slightly white against that yellow there. So the company name is that TCC, but yeah, a little bit of something on the end of that building. I'm not quite sure what that is, but yeah, we'll have some of these out another day. But let's get back to the princess. We'll back up the other princess. Let's see if we can get her to move smoothly backwards. There we go, another sudden stop there. I think I might have to dig out the Morley controller to get a little bit more control over these. So let's grab that off there. You can see the two together. There we go, both named Princess Elizabeth. This is R53. I think that's R31 on the tender. Let's have a swift look over it. There's definitely a lot of distortion going on here. I say they have survived quite well. That lining really is quite beautiful. There's a little bit missing there on the lion, isn't there, on the British Railways, but to have survived all these years in this condition, I think it's quite amazing. So I'll do my best not to ruin it or break it now. So I'm pointing in the wrong place again. We'll pick up the locomotive, just have a quick look over it. So fairly nice condition. The wiring inside this one is not as original as it could be, I don't think. I'll put an insert picture there and you can have a look at the inside of it. And while I fiddle and put this on, we'll put the black one in, insert the black one there as well. I'm definitely not doing well here. I need the railer really. Yeah, this is one is definitely eluding me. Still, plenty of time to have a look at those insert pictures. Let's just grab that there. Now it does sit very uncomfortably on the rails, so if we have derailments, it's not entirely unexpected. So let's give this princess a little bit of a run around the railway. And away she goes. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll see if we can catch up with her. You can see that tender wobbling away there. Lovely valve gear. Let's just catch her coming through the station now. And into the rubber tunnel. So I think just to finish off with, we'll get the Hornby Dublo train underway. Let's get that emerging from the station. And I think that's probably it for today, but thanks again for watching, it's hugely appreciated. If you look back again next time, we'll see if we can get the footbridge out on this station, which I've neglected to get out. I should have done over the course of yesterday evening, but it just eluded me. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks again. Goodbye now.